1 out of every 5 Africans, that's nearly 20%, are believers. And by 2050, it's estimated that Africans will make up 32% of the Catholic Church. The biggest growth is expected to come from Nigeria, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Tanzania. So let's discuss this further. I'm joined now by Archbishop Anthony Muheria of the Archdiocese of Nyeri in Kenya's Central Highlands. Thank you so much for joining us here on Focus on Africa. A Happy New Year to you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Happy New Year to you too.
Thank you. I wonder if we could just start with his legacy.
Thank you. Pope Emeritus Benedict has his legacy can be maybe put into a threefold. On one hand, his legacy as a theologian, a great mind with great clarity on doctrine, and who always with great diligence sought to find the best path to accommodate it to and to be understood by the man, the present man. Second is his legacy, precisely defending that as at the head of the dicastery of doctrine and faith, which he did for over 20 years. And finally, his legacy as Pope, in which, as you have referred, he had a chance to come and visit Africa, emphasizing the religiosity and that flourishing faith in Africa, but at the same time, decrying the ills that befall Africa, and especially the lack of capacity to respond, both from external and for ourselves, so challenging us tremendously. So his legacy is doctrinal, but also in terms of human dignity, emphasizing the need to address the human dignity. And in the theological...
Sorry, Archbishop,
yes,
I wonder if I could just ask, I mean, part of his legacy was his retirement, early retirement. Just how significant was this? And was it significant more for the Church than the believers?
I think it was significant, first, a surprise for all of us. It's significant for the Church to show that really no one, not even the Pope, is indispensable in his office. The great humility with which and courage that it takes to actually step down, and having seen in his own conscience that he was not able to carry forward. But also it was significant even to any kind of leadership. To the Church too, it made us understand the papacy in a slightly different way, given that for many years there had never been a pope who had stood down. His simplicity and humility is one of the things that stand out so much precisely in this great gesture.
Just turning to Catholicism and the continent, I mean, Africa has been described as a young church when it comes to Catholicism, and it's been said that it looks to be the centre of its future. Do you agree with that, and why?
I would agree fully with that, given, one, that the sense of natural religiosity still is alive in most of the Africans. The sense and search for something transcendent is also something very much African, and so it finds resonance when it's presented to us in faith, and particularly now in Christianity, without doubt. Secondly, the number of vocations have been rising. In the seminaries, we have noted that, in fact, for example, in Kenya, we have to look for new spaces. The seminary we have in my archdiocese, we've had to expand it, and we have over 300 seminarians. That's a sign of a great blossoming of vocations. There is also great focus now, thanks to the push of Pope Francis into presence in acts of mercy and in all the social areas of uplifting the human welfare.
Archbishop Anthony Muheria, I do hope the funeral passes peacefully on Thursday. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you too. God bless.